I think Biggie should start it off since he's been here 3 times now.
3? Have I been
This
here
is
3?
the 3rd under the covers.
Well, 4th if we're counting by phone call.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, this is the 4th. You're right.
Yeah, this is the
I did
4th
the
under the
FaceTime. I did
covers.
the initial under the covers for your birthday.
Yeah.
Happy 27th. And then
Thank you.
the FaceTime for Kimmy and
The other episode.
And we're here with Biggie CooktheBook. As you know, he was just in the Destination X finale. And unfortunately, he did not take the win. Mack and I are real sad about it. Look at Mack, she's so sad.
so pissed, so sad. They're both so sad. I had a hand in both of them going home. They're so pissed.
No, I was rooting for you.
Yeah, me too.
Ask literally any person.
I believe you.
For sure.
I believe you.
We had no stake in Peter or Rick's game.
We are under the covers, and I'm happy that y'all are here. Welcome to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now we
like the
talk
ice
about
cream.
the finale.
And now we talk about the finale. Actually, I want to rewind back to episode 9 before we talk about the
let's do
finale.
it.
Can you talk about Shane putting Milan? Like, did he think he was in Milan, or was that like a, hey, I'm going to help Biggie out, I'm going to go a little bit further away from where I think we actually are?
So me and Shane had the agreement, that once it got time to, keep info to ourselves, that's what we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did. We had no idea that we were doing a damn map room. Had absolutely no clue. And Jeffrey comes on the bus, and we're like, what the hell is going on? There's no way. Well, there was a way because we did it. And so we had no time to discuss because we had no idea that there was a map room. And so we go in there. I go in there. I just based off the track in the sun, I had no idea where the hell we were. I had no idea that it was Monaco. I did not pick up on the spades, diamonds, hearts, whatever. And
You didn't pick up on there's no place like home.
and there's no place like home, which was a dead giveaway.
Crazy
All you
clue.
gotta do is unscramble the letters, which also
And
spell
delete many other letters.
yeah, which also spells like probably 1,300 words in the English language. Whatever.
Including multiple European
yeah.
Schengen
Including
countries.
Milan.
yeah.
And Paris.
Could have been anything. You could have probably gotten Chattanooga from it, to be honest. But so we had no time to discuss. But what I do know, I went in there just based off a track in the sun. That's where I placed my X. And Shane, he came in. He looks at me. He says, "You're good." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "I put my line." That's the kind of guy Shane is, absolute dog. He was
Great
trying
guy.
to throw the challenge to make sure I made it into the finale. Turns out, however, your boy almost got T-boned.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy to see, because obviously Mac and I had heard about what went down in the challenge, but yeah, when you guys were switching your X's around, was it hard to keep track of whose X was whose?
Yeah, yes. So there was actually a round that wasn't shown. It was 3 rounds. So it was almost impossible to track everything because I, at one point, placed Shane's X on the final destination. And just everyone's moving around. I'm getting moved 50 miles. I'm getting swapped with Shane. As soon as I realized I was getting chopped or switched with Shane, I realized I was in a terrible spot because at that point it all comes down to hitting black, which on the show it said I did not do, that it landed on red. Whatever, it is what it is. I went back to back blacks, hit all 3, whatever, it is what it is. But just having to keep up with everything, not only your own, but knowing that you could get swapped with somebody else, so then you got to remember where they're at. It was insane. Not only that, but just the pressure of knowing that if you get through that, you're going on to the finale. It's just that on top of it, and then you got Jeffrey. We're on a yacht. We're in Monaco. It's there was a lot going through the dome.
Did you know that you were in Monaco at that point?
I had an idea just from the yachts. That's what, because look. Obviously, I know not much about Europe, not much. I knew we were on the coast, and I knew that there were yachts everywhere. The one thing I did remember was the Monaco Yacht Week, which at that time was Yacht Week, because there were yachts everywhere.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was walking around Monaco.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. The other thing which I did not pick up on was one of the clues. You know how Jeffrey, he would read us the clues before a challenge?
Yeah.
Kind of like a
play on
little riddle.
words. Yeah.
He said horsepower in it. And at the time, when he said it, I kind of picked up on it, but I didn't put any more into it. But that was for the F1 race in Monaco, and I did not pick up on that. But Yeah, it was stressful as shit. God, it was stressful as shit. Just the fact that like you make it that far and it all comes down to honestly just pure luck.
Did you have any idea where Rick and Peter put their ex, or you like trying to keep track of something you don't actually know? Because like they could have been
I
one
really
part of the chain,
so
in theory.
I don't think I knew, but I think Rick may have told me after we placed our ex that he put it in can. I'm pretty sure he ended up actually telling me that. So I assumed that they were pretty close.
Mm-hmm. At this point, did you not suspect at all that Rick was working with Pete?
I mean, I thought that there was potential, but I also knew that I knew the relationship that I had with Rick throughout the month we had been on the bus, and I just assumed that would override, him and Peter. So I got blinded by the shit. That was the one person on the show that I was like, had my blinders on to.
Yeah.
Didn't trust her at all. Probably should have.
Probably.
Rick, Shane, and you were who y'all could have fucked me over, and I'd have been like, damn, well they got me because
and Kim.
And Kim. Like I gave y'all all my trust, and it was like whatever. I just from the amount I'd talked to Rick, just hours and hours and hours and all that stuff, and like his story about like I felt bad for him, especially early on because nobody would talk to him after the Josh stuff and all that stuff, and we bonded over that and all that stuff, and I just felt like our bond was pretty tight. I was wrong. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But after I realized that he had lied about the pine cones and the diamonds, that's when I was like, all right, if we do a 2v1 challenge or something like that to where they get to gang up on me, I'm toast. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as it turns out,
guess what?
So was it in the finale challenge with Rick and Pete that you finally realized they were officially working together, or did you start suspecting it
that was the
during
official.
the pine cones?
I mean, it's when I realized he had lied to me about the pine cones.
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't add up with like anything else. I was like, well, that's kind of a weird thing to lie about. And then we get into the finale, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, I got the opportunity to keep myself up, move Peter back, and Rick has his decision, and I was like, all right, well, maybe we got hope. I'm gonna send Biggie back. Fuck. I'm toast. So that was for sure.
Oh, no.
pretty solid
clarification on where I stood with Rick. So
in the finale challenge, oh wait, I think this is you.
Well, I was just gonna say, what'd you think? Walking into that room, you see all our faces on the walls. Which, by the way, where'd they get those pictures from?
Yeah.
Were they
I don't
paintings?
know because y'all were wearing outfits. They looked like paintings. Honestly, I think they may have been paintings. But with AI these days, I don't know. It could have been something that ChatGPT created in half a second. But the coolest part about that was first the pictures of y'all, also the exact locations that y'all went out on. So it was actual confirmation as to like where we were.
Yeah.
Were there any that you weren't sure about until that point?
Well, there was one that I knew, like, everyone, like, was kind of in the air about Rome,
Yeah.
So that was a for sure.
That's right. I didn't fully believe Rome until I got off and asked.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that and also just kind of like walking back through, it was just like the culmination of, the entire bus ride, just kind of jogging the memory of, Josh, just all the way down of like everybody going out, all the places that we visited. So that was cool. And the room was beautiful. It was, 50-foot ceilings. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, did you think that someone was gonna come back to the show maybe? Like when you initially walked in, or were you just kind of like, oh, what the heck is this?
No, here's what I'll tell you. I did not think we were gonna have a challenge then. I thought that was like an introduction to London. We were like gonna go in, we were gonna talk a little bit, because it was very late in the day too. Like we had traveled the day before.
We had a 37-hour helicopter ride.
It's a real long time to be in a helicopter.
True.
Yeah.
And so honestly, all of us kind of assumed, we were like, there's no way like we're doing anything tonight, because it was late in the day. It was almost nighttime at that point. And we walk in, we're like, like they're just going to get some introduction shots, into this episode, whatever. We sit down and we see Jeffrey walk up, and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And there we go.
And it's in this challenge that you guys basically were moving people back and forth. I remember you saying something to Mack and I about you thought you might not have heard Jeffrey say that if you moved forward, you were good or something, or you were in a good position. So if you had moved yourself forward, would you have been top two, final two?
Yeah. So obviously the whole challenge was, questions are worth an amount of points. Mm-hmm. And I realized pretty early on, since it was a 2v1, I had one option, and that was to force a sudden death with Peter. Like, that was the only chance I had. So every one of them I got right, obviously, I would bring Peter back. My goal was to get both of us to the very back. So we would do that. And the very last question, I don't know if Jeffrey said it or not, because I was so far back, I could literally not hear anything he was saying. Like he would have to yell the actual question for me to even know what was going on. So Peter's up 2 spots. I'm in the very back. The question's worth 3. Peter got it wrong. I got it right. So had I known that was the last question, all I had to do was move up 3, and I got a shot at 250.
And you didn't know it was the last question. Whether he said it or he didn't, you had no idea.
I had zero clue. Had I known that, obviously I'm going to move up and I'm going to beat Rick's ass in the finale.
Yeah.
Because Jeffrey, after that, he was like, dude, you want to talk about pouring salt in a wound? Like, immediately after the challenge, he was like, you do realize that you could have moved on to the finale. And I was like, well, no, I didn't.
That's insane.
It is what it is. It was
horrible time to say that.
It was brutal, especially just after knowing it was a 2v1.
Yeah.
Knowing that I did everything in my power, the last however many questions, I just hammered them, got back in the game, got Peter to the back with me, went to sudden death, and oh my gosh, dude, I wanted to.
But then had one more chance still.
Still had one more chance.
Island away.
One more chance.